everyone, and welcome back to our Golden 20s. My name is Tegan, and I'm joined with my co-host Sadie. And
Hello.
we have another Valentine's Day themed episode, except this one's kind of centered around some of that self-love and the theme of romanticizing your life.
Love is in the air, people.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be like, it can be the love between a couple, love between a friendship, a love between myself and lighting candles. It's all on the table.
Yes, 100%. And I feel like people have heard me say this so many times, but it still rings true that you need to be like the best version of yourself before you can, show up and be a great partner in a relationship, if that's in a friendship, if it's family friendships or family relationships, if it's with a romantic partner, you got to take care of yourself. So that's just a little reminder that the relationship you have with yourself is the most important relationship you have with anyone. And it's definitely worth taking time to, show yourself some self-love and just fill your cup every now and then.
Yeah. So for those who don't know what romanticizing your life is or anything like that, I kind of want to start even more basic and kind of preface it with like, have you ever watched a movie where maybe the people in the movie are doing something ridiculous, like they're dancing around the kitchen, drinking wine, they're taking an impromptu road trip, they're wandering the streets and they run into a handsome stranger in a coffee shop? And have you ever felt like you wish that that was your life? Or
every day.
Yeah.
That is why I go to the coffee shops.
Yeah, exactly. Have you ever felt like you're maybe not really living, you're just existing? Well, we have the solution for you.
Yeah. And I think too, especially, a few episodes ago, we were talking about the winter blues. And I feel like this concept of like romanticizing your life is especially important like in the winter months when there's really not much going on. It's just like a slew of slow, simple days strung together, and you're just like searching for some magic in the day-to-day. So I feel like this is a timely episode, as well as just everybody's talking about romanticizing your life, main character energy. That is what we're bringing into 2022. So yeah, I feel like this will be really good to talk about. So I think it's exactly what you were just saying, Tag, like the idea of like acting like you're in a movie, but also kind of what I was just saying is like the idea of romanticizing your life is really the idea of bringing romance, if you will, to your day-to-day and your mundane tasks. So that's really just the small, simple things, even like washing the dishes, something I hate doing the laundry, something I hate doing, like finding a way to like doing something small to like totally change that scenario and act as if you're a movie character and make it way more magical.
Yeah. So as far as, why you should romanticize your life, like you shouldn't be doing it because you see it on TikTok. You shouldn't be doing it because we're telling you in this podcast.
Yes. I know that's like my one biggest pet peeve. Like I feel especially with social media, like I think people talk a lot about the comparison game and like how it like negatively impacts them and, they get really down on themselves. They feel like they're not enough, blah, blah, blah. I feel like there's also, maybe this is just me like getting really deep and like, I don't know, talking about social media, like the dark side of it. But I feel like there's also part of it that is always like in your mind without you even realizing it. And I feel like it shapes a lot of what we do without realizing, or even if we do realize it, we don't really ask why. We're just like, my For You page on TikTok is all that girl routines and like everybody's just romanticizing their life. So like, of course I'm going to do it. But it's like, if that's where it all starts from, and I feel like I've talked so much about like living authentically and whatnot as we're like headed into 2022, because it's something I'm so hyper aware of this year, is doing things with purpose so that it actually feels good. You know what I mean? And I think something like romanticizing your life, like we said, it's so like trendy right now. It's like there's a real reason why you should do this, and it's not
Yeah.
just because it's what everyone else is doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just like going on a tangent. I feel like there's also going to be some like tough love from me on this topic today.
Mm.
But I'm sorry guys, that's just the mood I'm in today.
Yeah, I think the number one reason why I like to romanticize aspects of my life is I just find it gives me so much motivation because
Mm-hmm.
it's like, listen, if I'm going to be like the main character of my life, I can't be doing that with no cute clothes because I haven't done laundry in 2 weeks. Like, it's like, I
Yeah.
need to bring that main character energy everywhere. And the main character does not have dirty dishes. She's got a nice, clean apartment that she can dance around in for a music montage.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's wearing the matching like bra and underwear because
Yep.
she has her life together, did the
Mm-hmm.
laundry like you were just saying. Love that. Yeah, I think that too. And as much as I was just hating on social media, like I feel like if it motivates you to be like, I'm gonna do this and like create a TikTok, like if
Right.
that's what motivates you and it is fulfilling for you, like that could be, something that lights the fire for you to like try this. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I feel like it is very motivating. And I feel like too, it just adds a level of like intention to the small
Mm-hmm.
things. You know what I mean? Like you're intentionally lighting that candle, you're intentionally doing whatever it is to
Yeah.
make the small, simple moments even more enjoyable. And I feel like talking about those small and simple moments, like that is honestly what life is all about. You know what I mean? Like we
Yeah.
only really have a few like huge goals and huge milestones that we achieve in our lifetime, but we have so many small everyday moments strung in between them. And those are the things that we overlook so easily because we're just, at least I'm always so focused on those huge goals and milestones. And that's what I
Mm.
romanticize.
Yeah.
But once you kind of unlock that like ability to romanticize like the small moments in between, I feel like that's when
Yeah.
you're like the happiest maybe and filled with the most joy.
Yeah, yeah. I think one of the main like mental blocks I had as far as like romanticizing my life that I hope people can relate to is that I would think of things as like, well, that's what other people do, but like I
Mm,
don't deserve that, or like, that's what fancy people do and I'm not a fancy person.
right.
So, I don't need to do it. Like for the longest time, I would only get my nails done for special occasions because I was like, well, other girls get their nails done like every 4 to 6 weeks, but that's because
Mm-hmm.
they're fancy. And then it like clicked in my
Right.
head where it's like, there's literally no difference between them and me,
Mm-hmm.
except for like where we're prioritizing where to put our money. Like it's not that they
Yeah.
have a different life than me or anything. It's just what I'm choosing to put my time, money, and energy into. And it's the same for
Mm.
like so many things. Like I'm sure there are people out there who are like, well, I don't deserve to have a nice, candle that I burn. And I don't deserve to have a yoga mat that takes up room in my apartment. And I don't deserve to not be working late and instead be, going on a walk. And it's like, no, but you do deserve it. And if you can see other
Mm-hmm.
people in your life doing it, the only difference is that they have, like I said, different priorities. And so it's
Mm-hmm.
so important to prioritize yourself because you deserve it. And on a big
Mm-hmm.
scale, like none of this stuff really matters. Does it matter that I got my
Yeah.
nails done like an extra time this month? Literally, no.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the tiniest difference in the universe.
Yeah. And I feel like if you're, I don't know, if you're trying to find what to romanticize or something, like if it's something like
Yeah.
getting your nails done, I feel like that's something I relate to because
Yeah.
just like the end of last year, ever since your wedding actually, Tag, I've been getting my nails done like every 3 to 4 weeks. And it's
Yeah.
the most I've like kept up with getting my nails done. And it sounds so silly to talk about this in like such depth, but it honestly makes me feel just like such a baddie when my nails are done
Yeah.
that it's like a feeling I want to cultivate all the time. And if I have power over, what gives me that energy and when I can feel that way, of course I'm going to, set myself up for success and like give
Yeah.
myself what I need to feel that way. You know what I mean? But I think it's interesting. And I think we've kind of maybe talked about this before. Like, I don't think I've ever viewed things quite that way. I kind of view it more the opposite, as like everything I do, I'm always like, it's not, I don't deserve it, but I owe it to myself,
Right.
And it's like, I work so hard. I owe it to myself to spend my money foolishly. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
That's often what I do, but no,
Yeah.
I mean, get my nails done. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I work
Yeah.
hard. So of course I'll pick up flowers when I get groceries or whatever it is. And it's also kind of like, this is kind of my tough love moment, is I feel like nobody else really cares about your life as much as you do, or as much as you should. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So nobody's going to be like, girl, like, yes, I'm going to pay for you to get your nails done because you deserve it, because, you work so hard, whatever. Like, no, nobody's going to do that. So you need to like take control of that like situation and like do that for yourself. And I don't know, it's kind of just like, it's nobody else is responsible for making your life, the most fulfilling dream life and like actually helping you live out your dream life. Like, it's really up to you. And I feel like once you just start doing it, you're going to realize how liberating and like fulfilling it is when you make yourself feel so magical or so empowered or like, a total boss ass bitch or whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do think it's as simple as, if it brings you joy, do it.
Do it.
That's it. Like, it's literally that
That's
simple. And if it makes you feel good, makes you feel like a badass bee, then do it.
Yes, absolutely. And I feel like too, like if it's something you're dreading doing, going back to like the laundry example, like find a way to make it fun. Like nobody's going to be like, I refuse to add more fun to my day. You know what I mean? Like, of course, like that's part of like having joy and like living a happy life, is like having fun along the way. So that's also a really good way to look at it.
Yeah. So kind of on the topic of laundry and, doing the things that you maybe don't want to, bringing that romance into your life. Like, there are so many simple ways to romanticize your life. Like, I'm thinking of laundry. Like, you can buy bougie laundry detergent. It's like, no one's stopping you. You could just like ball out on your laundry detergent. And I see people on TikTok all the time and I'm like, damn, look at you go. Like, they've got the fanciest laundry detergent, the cutest little laundry hamper. And maybe they only use like a little bit and then they use normal detergent, or they only use it for their bedding. But it's like stuff like that makes a world of difference.
100%. It's so funny that we're talking about laundry, because laundry is something that I need to romanticize. Like, I hate doing laundry. I don't have I don't have machines in unit, but I have them in the basement of my building. So like, it's not that far out. I'm lucky to have them in my building at all, but it's just like I have to, like trek down 3 flights of stairs or 3 floors with my laundry, and I just hate it so much. I chance running into my neighbors. Like, I don't want to do that. And I'm always looking greasy. Like, when I'm doing laundry, it's like, because I don't have any clothes left to wear. So who knows what I'm actually wearing going to the laundry room. But I see these girls on TikTok all the time, like, doing their laundry, like, so cute. And guys, it's just so funny to me. My laundry room is so dingy because like it's in the basement of this like apartment. It's just like so dingy. It needs like such a repair that now the idea of romanticizing it like brings so much fun into my day, kind of going back to like just making it fun, because it's so funny to imagine me romanticizing it. And I know this isn't funny to you guys since you don't know what my laundry room looks like, but it's in just such rough shape that I'm like, it's not even possible for me I would never capture this on TikTok. Like, I would never. I don't know. And that's just become the joke that like motivates me to go down there and just like laugh at it. But anyways, that was a sidetrack. Next time you come over, Tag, I'll show you to my laundry room. You'll be like, what the heck is this place?
Yeah, it's weird to think that there's a part of your apartment that I haven't seen. but I
Yeah. Oh,
haven't.
yeah. For a reason. Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone's now like, okay, now we all need to see. But
Yeah.
anyways, outside of laundry, I feel like one area that, or one, how I always romanticize my life, for some reason, it's always in the kitchen. It's
Yeah.
always cooking. It's always like with music playing. It can be different playlists, whatever, but I'm almost always in the kitchen when I'm like, this is a movie moment. And
Yeah.
it's really like my weekends. I feel like I've maybe talked about my weekend routines and like weekend mornings, but I
Hmm.
really lean into that. And like Saturday mornings are my favorite day of the week. Like it's
Hmm.
always, well, I have like a Saturday morning playlist now, but it's primarily
Mm.
John Mayer. And I don't care what anybody says, it just hits the spot on a slow, chill Saturday morning. And it's just like sipping coffee, like
Mm.
making eggs, and just like, yeah, dancing around the kitchen, like flipping my eggs. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. It's just something I look forward to every single weekend. And I'm always just like, I don't know. I feel so like content in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah. I also have a similar kind of morning routine that I haven't been doing super long, but maybe like the last 2 weeks or so, where
Mm.
the one big difference is as soon as I wake up, I like jump out of bed, which is something I heard about on TikTok. It's always these people who are like, how do you wake up
Okay.
at 5 a.m.? And they're like, you literally have to just like, as soon as you wake up, jump out of bed. Because as
Oh,
soon as you
gosh.
like lay there, I don't literally jump, but I get out of my bed.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah, because they're like, if you just sit there and lay on your phone, you're not
Hmm.
waking up, but you're not getting any more sleep. So you're just as tired, but then you feel bad because you spend an hour laying in bed on your phone. So
Yeah.
I've been jumping out of bed and I have a cup of coffee and I sit by the window and I've been doing things like reading, or we started getting the paper. So I've been like reading the paper or doing the crossword. And it's all about just
Mm.
like taking it slow. And this is
I
like
love that.
so simple. It's literally like I
Yeah.
wake up every morning, I drink coffee every morning, but it's like the intention behind like, nope, this is my morning routine. I'm sitting and
Hmm.
taking it easy. That's the part that makes it like special.
Yeah. And I feel like too, like sitting by a window, I know it's so simple, but it also just can feel so movie like
Yeah.
me sitting at my desk that's in front of my window, I'm like, I literally feel like Carrie Bradshaw all day, every
Mm.
day, just like typing away on my computer as I sit in the window, or like drinking your coffee, looking out the window. Like something about that to me is like main
Yeah.
character moment vibes. And I love it so much.
Yeah. And I like the key thing is that I'm trying to take it slow and keep it relaxed. Like I'm sure
Yeah.
everyone's heard like the sound that came from the show Euphoria, where it's like Cassie woke up at 4 a.m. and it's like her just going absolutely crazy doing her skincare. Like that's not the vibe.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And I feel like too, like you said, it's yeah, slow and simple, but it's just like the intention behind it. And
Yeah.
that's the key, 100%. And I actually do agree. I didn't hear about this whole jump out of bed situation. I haven't been on TikTok in like, I don't know, a week or two, like seriously, ever since my screen time peaked. And I was like, oh God, that's terrifying. I was like, okay, reel it back. But anyways, I can totally vouch for that as a
Yeah.
non-morning person. Like that's been my trick probably since the beginning of the year, I guess. I was like, yes, I
Mm.
need to have more of a morning routine. So I was setting
Yeah.
my alarm on my dresser, like across the room. So I had to get up to turn
Okay.
it off.
Yeah.
And I've been consistent with it ever since. And it's just
Hmm.
like, even the intention, yes, I could just set my phone on my bedside table, like
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
night, like that's easy, but it's like, no, I'm doing this for myself. I'm going to put it across the room because I need to help myself. Like I know I
Yeah.
need this. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so good.
Yeah.
Another one, like I was said in mornings, also making dinner. I was doing
Hmm.
this actually right before we started recording this episode. Just like making anything on the stove, really, where I can like stir it, hold the spoon, walk around, dance a little. It's the best. It's often like you know, the red wine, Frank Sinatra making pasta kind of vibe. And I just
Yeah.
absolutely love that so much.
Yeah, I do feel like cooking is a big part of it because a lot of cooking, at least the way I cook, is I'm like very like anal about it. Like I have to follow the recipe. So it's like forced
Mm,
mindfulness. Like I have to be taking it slow. I have to be paying attention. And there's also just
mm,
like such a good vibe to certain kitchens. And there are so many good playlists. Like keep seeing ones that are like
yeah.
cooking in a Nancy Meyers movie. And like,
Yes.
yeah, it's just so good.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, another thing that I've been trying to do is because obviously I've liked my slow morning routines, is also trying to do like a slow bedtime routine. And this is so
Mm,
lame, but I am legitimately getting ready for bed at like 8 p.m. because that's how
mm-hmm.
slow I want to take it. Like I want to
Yeah.
do some like gentle movement like yoga or something like that. And I want to do my skincare in slow mo. I want to read my book for a long time. I want to
Mm-hmm.
like journal before bed. Like I just go absolutely ham with like the over the top self care because also like we're in lockdown still. It's February. There's nothing to do. Like there's nothing better for me to
Mm-hmm.
be doing than just like indulging on self care.
Yes. I love that so much. I'm the exact same way. My like night routine starts at 9 p.m. and
Yeah.
goes for like 2.5 hours. Like I'm usually lights out around like 11:30-ish. So
Yeah.
it's like that's kind of insane, but that's how long it takes me to like, yeah, romanticize the moment and also just to like
Yeah.
actually fully unwind, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, I love
exactly.
that so much. Yeah, and I think prioritizing your routine specifically is key. I've been talking
Mm.
to so many different friends about how important routines are at this time, like just like in the winter in general, where you're just kind of like
Yeah.
floating through. A lot of us are still working from home. Like, I don't know. I think routines, we've talked a lot about routines on the podcast, and I don't want to get too much
Yeah.
into it knowing this episode isn't about it. But if romanticizing your routine is what holds you accountable to doing it every single day,
Yeah.
then romanticize like the shit out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, make sure you're finding a way to show up to consistently do it because there's going to be so much like good that comes from being consistent with a routine. It just
Hmm.
takes time to like see the benefits of it, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I think
Yeah.
another way to think about how to romanticize your life outside of
Mm-hmm.
routines is to think about how younger you pictured your adult life.
Yeah. Or even how you right now like picture your ideal life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just who do you want to be like in the dream scenario if absolutely nothing was holding you back and like how can you
Hmm.
be that person now, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think like it's so funny. People if somebody were like looking in my mind and like could read my thoughts, I'd really be like the hugest loser just all the time because last weekend, and I already am the hugest loser, we already know this, but so it won't come as a shock, but last weekend I went to Whole Foods and I was just
Mhm.
like walking down the street to the subway with my Whole Foods bag and I was like, I remember the days going back to like your younger self. I remember the days when I was broke in college, shopping at
Mhm.
No Frills, which no shame if you shop at No Frills. No Frills is cool. But my store sucked so bad.
Yeah.
And just like everything I bought would instantly go bad. And it was just the worst. And I just shopped there because I had no money. And I remember thinking to myself, I can't wait until just I work full time and I can
Mhm.
go to Whole Foods, do some grocery shopping, and like that'll be when I made it. And I was just like, here I am a few years later on a Saturday going to Whole Foods. I obviously didn't do my
Mhm.
whole grocery shop there because like I don't have that much money. I haven't made it that much, but future me will get there one day. But I'm like, sure,
Yeah.
I just spent like $25 on pressed juice. I don't care. Like, sure, this is what I chose to do to romanticize my day. And I just felt so like proud of myself. And again, it's like
Mhm.
I owe it to myself to do this, like to live that life I've always dreamed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I also think it's like honoring your inner child a little bit, or your inner teenager, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever age the like person inside of you that's speaking these truths about your life is
Yeah.
it's like if you're kind of thinking, well, how could I be romanticizing my life? Talk to your inner child and see how they would want you to dress. Like, I know when I
Mm-hmm.
was younger, I would be like, when I'm older, I'm going to dress like this certain way. And that might mean like you accessorize with like an insane amount of accessories because you grew up in the early 2000s or something. But it's like, why not dress the way you always wanted to? Or especially if you're
Yeah.
working from home, if you want to dress nice but feel it's stupid because no one sees you, still dress nice. Do it for yourself. Don't do
Mm-hmm.
it for other people.
Totally.
And you
Yeah.
can ask your inner child, like, how should I dress? What should I be doing? How should I look? How should I act? And I
Mm-hmm.
think all of those things can give you clues on areas in your life that need a little romance.
Totally. And I remember being a kid, and I don't know if everybody did this or if it was just me, but I remember always looking at like girls who were older than me, and I was always like, I wonder how old they are. I wonder, like, they probably live the most amazing life. Like, they
Hmm.
probably, yeah, like their nails are done. Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. They probably get their nails done every
Yeah.
4 weeks. Oh my gosh, like, yeah, they have the most beautiful outfit. Oh my goodness, they have a boyfriend, they have a car, they have a dog, like, whatever it was. And there's just so
Yeah.
many things, like, thinking back now, I'm always like, I wonder if kids look at me that way. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And like,
Yeah.
how can I make them proud? But how can I, yeah, make
Yeah.
myself proud if I was that kid,
Yeah.
looking at my life now. So I love that
Hmm.
idea. And like Tegan and I grew up in small town, so kind of like that city life was always like the end destination for me. Like, I'm gonna get out of this small town and like no going back kind of thing. I'm gonna work in the fashion industry. Like, this was my dream
Yeah.
life then, right? And I feel like it's hard to remember to romanticize that because like I had to bust my ass to get to where I'm at now. You know what I mean? Like, I had
Yeah.
a permanent like bags under my eyes at 22 because it was just like a lot of work. But there's still days where if I'm going to meet my friends downtown for dinner, like, I don't live right downtown, so I'm not always looking at
Mm.
the CN Tower downtown Toronto. But there's times where if I know I have dinner plans or if I'm making dinner plans, I'm like, I'm going to do it where I can like walk past the CN Tower or at least get a
Hmm.
good glimpse at the CN Tower. Walking, with like some, I don't know, my nails done, some like nice bag, a nice outfit on, and just like look at
Hmm.
the CN Tower and be like, romanticize the city life and be like, girl, you made it. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
just the one moment where I can think of everything that I've done to get to where I'm at, but also,
Hmm.
like you said, make that younger child proud and be like, girl, you did it. You're
Yeah.
here. Let's just romanticize this moment, walking down the street, looking at the CN Tower right now.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
told one of my friends this not that long ago, and I feel friends who grow up or grew up in a city don't get that. But I feel
Yeah.
like you could also reverse it. Like, for us, that was always my dream because I grew up in a small town, like I said. But
Hmm.
if you're someone from a city listening to this and you're like, see, that just doesn't resonate with me. Maybe you're like romanticizing driving down back roads to country music with the
Hmm.
windows down, like, singing at the top of your lungs with your best friend in the front seat. Like, that's something I don't romanticize because I'm like, that's what
Been
I've done my
there,
whole
done
life,
that.
Exactly. But it's like, maybe that's what you romanticize or like seek those types of moments out to bring yourself joy.
Yeah. Well, I did want to like point out kind of on that same note that like this can be totally what you want it to be. Like, obviously, a lot of the things that we're suggesting are pretty like rooted in femininity, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
if you're brought up and you got your nails done all the time and you're like, this is not me and not how I want to express myself, maybe romanticizing your life is not getting your nails done. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
totally a reflection of you and what you want. And yeah,
Totally.
I just think it's super cool. And it doesn't have to
Yeah.
be like we've been saying this whole time, it doesn't have to be this whole big moment. Like, romanticizing your life isn't buying a penthouse and popping champagne. Like it's like lighting a candle and going to bed early.
Yeah. Taking the detour so you walk past your city's landmark while
Yes.
walking to dinner.
Whatever that might be.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Yeah, and I think also take that pressure off that your romanticizing moment doesn't have to look like what you're seeing on TikTok. Like,
Yeah.
that's a big thing for me. You know what I mean? Like, just do things for you and things
Yeah.
that are fulfilling for you.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
maybe romanticizing your life, like you were saying, isn't pretty. Like maybe it's doing your laundry in your
Yeah.
dingy laundry room. And it's like, this isn't an Instagram moment, but this is how I'm romanticizing my life.
Yeah. Or another one, like, I've always, like, a few years ago, I was like, I want to be a yogi, like somebody who practices yoga all the time
Yeah.
and goes to the yoga studio, drinks fresh pressed juice. Like, this was just a vision I had for myself. And
Yeah.
I remember right before the pandemic, I was going to the hot yoga studio like twice a week. And, you know, on the Saturday morning classes, I'd always like grab a pressed juice on the way home. And I remember
Yeah.
being like, I'm so sweaty. Like, this isn't an Instagram moment where you can like
Yeah.
see how disgustingly sweaty and nasty I am. And like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, nobody is enjoying looking at me right now, but what I feel inside is unmatched right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just so fulfilling, even though it's the most simple thing and like gross or whatever. But it's like, this was just, I don't know, the most fulfilling thing I could do on my Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even just like living room dance parties. I know like
Yeah.
some people might feel silly doing that, but like when I was a kid, this really is all about like honoring my like
Inner
younger
child.
child, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, like I would just like put on concerts for absolutely nobody in my room, and my entire
Yeah.
family hated me because I would do this like all night, every night, like from after dinner till bedtime. And it got really fun when my grandparents got me microphones and like a whole sound system. Then it was for the whole neighborhood. But anyways, all of this is to say, like now when I'm just like having a dance party in like my living room in an apartment that I pay rent like every single month on my own from like the money I make at my job, I'm holding a glass of wine. I'm still singing the same Avril Lavigne songs that I sang at like 11 years old. Like, it's like, this is the life that younger Sadie didn't even know was like possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I'm still the same person doing the same like loserish concert for absolutely nobody. But it's just like, I don't know. It's maybe, yeah, romanticizing my life, but just like honoring my inner child. I don't know. Now I'm just getting like reflective on all the ways I do this without even maybe meaning to. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I love the idea of like, it doesn't cost you any money. It's just like listening to music in your living room, listening to a sick playlist.
Yes.
It's like running a
Exactly.
bath.
Yes.
Not a big deal. Lighting a candle. Like
No.
I'm sure 99% of people listening probably have a candle somewhere in their house. Like it's like light that candle. Journaling. You can do that on your phone if you want. Like reading a book. You can get a book for free from the library. Like this isn't about, you know, go out and spend all this money. It's just about
you don't have
honoring yourself. Like look up videos on YouTube that can help you do that. Like whether that's watching vloggers who inspire you or, you know, I see people on TikTok who always have their little like iPad set up when they're working to be like a fireplace just to get like the cozy vibes from work from home. I also love the idea of like buying fresh flowers when you go through the grocery store, waking up early to watch the sunset or trying to watch the sunrise, planning a picnic or having friends over for dinner. Like it's non-complicated ideas, but they have a big impact.
Totally. 100%. I love that so much. And I feel like if you're feeling, you know, inspired and excited about this idea, but you don't know where to start, like just start listing out things that you want for like your future self or like, you know, things that you love doing, moments you feel most fulfilled and start implementing, you know, even maybe just once a week. Maybe you don't romanticize your routine, like your night routine every single night, but you do on Wednesdays or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, find small ways to implement this and just see how it can totally change your mood around and just
Yeah.
make you appreciate those smaller moments a little bit more.
Yeah. It's basically anything that can make you feel special and loved. Like it's called romanticized for a reason. And
Yes.
yeah, I just had like one more thing I wanted to say, which was just like not to save the special things in your life for a special moment or for someday. And
Yeah.
like growing up, my mom always told this story about like there's like a couple, and I'm going to butcher this story. There's like a couple, and he had bought her like fancy lingerie or something, and they were going to save it for a special occasion. And then she died in a car crash, and he had to go through all her
Oh my
stuff. And the
goodness.
special lingerie was still in her dresser with the tags on. And the moral of the story is that you shouldn't save special things for a special day. Every day should be special for you, and you should embrace life. So wear the fancy underwear or drink the nice champagne on a random night or send a heartfelt card just because if you keep waiting on the special moments to embrace your life, you're just wasting so much of your actual life.
100%. Yeah, dramatic story, but I
Yeah.
like where it went. I like the turn that it took. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure it's like has a
Yes.
long setup and everything, but I just cut to the chase.
Yeah. So true, Tag. So wise. I love it so much.
Yeah. But I always see
Amazing.
that quote that's like, don't wait for Friday or the summer or next year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the same idea.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I love that. And I honestly feel like it's one of those, like, I don't know, like, of course, there's going to be days where you're working hard and you log off work, you have to commute home in the snow, in the rain, you get home and you're like, I'm just going to put on a hoodie, put the hood up, I'm going to, like, bury myself under 5 blankets on the couch and watch Netflix all night because today sucks. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, those days happen 100%, you know? But I feel like if you can, I don't know, if you can like focus more on like the magic of life, like that's when you unlock something really, really great. And like you said, doesn't have to be all the time, but when you can, give it a whirl. Yeah. Amazing. And I'm going to again plug our Pinterest because I feel like every time I'm just like scrolling on Pinterest, I'm always just saving ideas like to a vision board or anything really, where it's just like, oh, this is like, well, actually, Tag, I think you were talking about this in our 2022 episode where you like went through your vision board and it was like, this is just people sitting around drinking wine and like it just looks so magical and like inspirational to you. And you're like, we could do this like anytime, you know what I mean? So just go on Pinterest, follow us on Pinterest. We have lots of fun content saved on there and see if that maybe sparks some ways that you can implement this into your day today as well. But all that being said, you can find us on Pinterest at Our Golden 20s. We're also on Instagram, TikTok with our That Girl routines. No basement laundry room, but still. We also have Spotify playlists and we have a Patreon community. So if you're looking to connect with us more outside of our weekly episodes, join us on social. It is definitely a fun time. And we're trying to serve up content that keeps you guys feeling pumped and has you feeling like the main character of your life. So that is where we're going to leave it today, I think. And we will see you guys next Tuesday.
Bye.